right, well, let's get going. Welcome to our chair yoga class, part of our free Grow with GoGo series. Before we get moving, just a quick reminder of what else GoGo offers. So in addition to these classes, you can access rides, meals, groceries, medication delivery, and home services. And you can get all of these through one number, and that number is 855-464-6872. Also, a reminder that you have a referral code at the bottom of your GoGo receipts. So if you go to your online dashboard, you can call the operators and get help that way, or you can just give the referral code to a friend, and once they use it, you will both get $10 in credit. We also have a Facebook group, so if you ever want to continue any of these conversations online, you can find us on Facebook. And with that, we'll get going. So welcome to class. I'm Adra. If we haven't met, I teach the yoga and the functional fitness class here at GoGo. Our yoga class today is mostly seated. All of our yoga classes are mostly seated. Also, if you have some vision impairments, the yoga class tends to be a better fit in that I give a lot of descriptions. So just knowing that as well can be helpful. Let's see, what do we need? We need a chair. So I have a chair without armrests. Grab whatever chair you have, preferably not something on wheels just because I'm worried about, it rolling away or you not feeling stable, but whatever you have is fine. Just, making your own decisions on what feels safe. Okay, and with that, does anybody remember what our move of the week was? So this was not last week because last week was fitness, functional fitness. So the yoga move of the week. And if you're waving at me, I can't see everybody's video all at once. So you could just put it in the chat or just unmute yourself. It was a good one. I thought it was a nice one. Did I see Bertha, you wave your hand? Yeah, go ahead. Or Carolyn, I see both of you maybe. Just unmute yourself.
It was the scalp massage.
Yes, excellent, Bertha. Yes, the scalp massage. Did you get any scalp massage in the last couple weeks?
Well, I think I complained to you that I had a rash on my scalp and I couldn't do it initially, but it disappeared. And I often, when I shampoo or comb my hair, I can do that.
Excellent. That's right. I remember that now. But I'm glad it's gone. So that was our move of the week. So at the end of class today, I'll give you another move, something to just try and do over the next couple weeks between our yoga sessions. All right, with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And so normally I am your big screen, I'm spotlighted, but sometimes your computer settings override what we have set up. So if I am not your big screen and you want to see me as your big screen, you go to the top right-hand corner of your computer and pick view. There's a little square if you move your cursor up there. And when you pick view, it will give you an option to have speaker view, which would be me, or gallery view if you want to see everybody all at once. So just know that you can adjust those settings. I'm going to move my mic over here as well. Also a reminder that this is your time and your practice and you are responsible for your body. So if anything doesn't feel good, you should stop, take a break, modify it. I give as many options as possible, but listen to your body, take breaks, and take care of yourself. All right, with that, let's just take a moment and rock a little side to side in your chair, just feeling how your legs and your sits bones land on your chair. And then pausing in the middle with both sits bones grounded. Let your arms relax on your lap or somewhere on your chair. Allow your eyes to close or your gaze to soften to the ground. And take a few deeper than normal breaths. Allowing yourself to settle in. Letting go of the morning so far. Letting go of whatever things need to happen later. And settling into here and now. Take a few moments to notice how you're feeling mentally today. So what thoughts are present? Also noticing what's going on emotionally. So any feelings. And also noticing what's going on physically. How is your body doing? Any aches, areas of discomfort, areas of comfort. Take one or two more deep breaths. And you're welcome to keep your eyes closed or feel free to open them, and you'll start to rotate your head no. So turning your head right and left, just sensing the motion in your neck. And then nodding the head no. Sorry, yes. We just did no. Nodding the head yes, looking up and down. And then back to center. We'll bring the right ear towards the right shoulder, get a little side stretch of the neck. And then other ear to shoulder. And back to center. Let's do a couple of shoulder rolls forward. So you're lifting those shoulders up towards those ears, forward, down, and back, and then repeating. So forward shoulder rolls. And then go ahead and switch directions, backwards shoulder rolls. And then allow the shoulders to relax. We're going to bring the right ear back towards the right shoulder. So I'm mirroring you. You'll let your left arm drop off of your lap. And then allow your left arm to move forward and then back. So you're just reaching it forward towards your computer possibly, and then back towards whatever's behind you. And just notice how that changes the stretch where your arm is. And as you move your arm, go ahead and pause wherever you feel a nice stretch, where you get a nice good stretch. So I find that I get a good stretch when I go slightly back. But maybe for you, it's straight off to the side or really back or slightly forward. And then from there, you're gonna rotate your arm so the palm faces up and then rotate so the palm faces down. But thinking about the rotation happening at the shoulder, so at the upper arm bone in your shoulder socket, more than just at the forearm. So the rotation is not just the lower arm moving, but the upper arm as well. Being gentle here, if it's too much, back off. And if you find a really interesting spot as you rotate, go ahead and pause, hold for an extra breath. And then bring your hand back to your lap, lift your head back up, pause for a moment. Do a few rotations, so a few shakes, no, looking right and left. And then we'll go to the other side. So now left ear to left shoulder. Again, you don't need to go to your max. You're just going to a comfortable position to get a little side stretch. Right arm drops down. And then you let that right arm move forward and back. And just noticing if that changes the stretch for you. It may or may not. So sometimes one side you really feel some interesting things and on the other side a lot less. And that's okay. And then finding a spot here, forward and back, where you get an interesting stretch or you think there might be something interesting, and pause, hold. Then we'll add that rotation. So you can rotate the palm to face up, but think about it's the upper arm doing that rotation, and then the palm faces back, upper arms doing that rotation. So finding some rotation, and you might need to move the arm to a different spot as you rotate. You get an interesting stretch in the neck. Again, there's no need to overdo it. So if it's feeling too intense, lift your head up slightly. Right? You don't need to bring it all the way down to your max. And then go ahead and lift your head back up, palm back to your lap. And let's do a few shoulder rolls forward. And a few shoulder rolls back. We'll leave the head and neck alone for a little bit. And we'll inhale, open up the arms out to the side and lift the chest. So arms are going out to the side. You're spreading your fingers. Your tail is going behind you. Your head and chest are lifting towards the ceiling. And then exhale, round your back, tuck your tail between the legs, drop your chin, round your back, give yourself a hug. So we're stretching the back body here. And then inhale, opening up the arms, chest lifts, tail goes back. We're opening up the front of the body. And exhale, round. Keep going at your own pace. So following your breath, you don't need to worry about my speed or anybody else's speed. Move with your breath. And feeling free to pause for a little longer in any of the positions, if you'd like. All right, make your way back to center, releasing those arms. And we'll do some bending side to side. So side bend to one side, reaching the fingertips towards the earth. And then lift yourself back up. And then side bend to the other side. and up. So keep going here at your own pace. And go ahead and bring yourself back to center. Let's bring the fingertips to the shoulders, elbows point out to the side. We're just getting those arms out of the way. Imagine that you're squeezing a block or something or a ball between your knees. So there's this magnetism between those knees that they want to pull towards each other. They stay there, so you still have that energy between the knees as you rotate your upper body, twisting one way and center and twisting the other way and center. Keep going. Noticing if it's easier to twist one direction compared to the other. And then we'll twist one direction, pause, release your arms down so they can rest on your leg or on your chair or wherever feels comfortable. So now we're just holding the twist. And go ahead and twist the other direction. So rotating. And again, we're just placing those hands on your leg or on your chair and holding the twist. And go ahead and unwind back to center. Let's go ahead and take those legs nice and wide. So here, it depends on what kind of chair you're on. So you might need to scooch forward towards the front edge of the chair or back towards the back of your chair. So legs are wide, knees are pointing out to the side, toes are pointing out, or they're really kind of at a diagonal for most of us. Some of you might be able to go straight out to the side, but nice open stance here. And allow yourself to just rock a little side to side for a moment. Kind of an awkward rock, but just getting yourself sort of settled into this nice open stance. And then pausing, finding that weight even right to left. And we'll go ahead and lean to our right, placing that right hand on the right knee. You could stay right there. You could also start to bend that right elbow, bringing that right forearm either to your armrest, if you have one, or to your thigh. You can stay right there. Or that left arm can rest down by your side as it is, or the left arm could reach out to the side, up towards the ceiling, or all the way overhead into a side stretch. So it's up to you. Try and keep those legs nice and open as you breathe into your side. So we're focusing our breath into the left side body or the part of the body that's being stretched. So you might find that when you inhale, the stretch intensifies. And lift yourself all the way back up. Pausing for a moment, noticing the differences right to left. And we'll switch sides, so leaning to the left. Left hand on your knee, or bend the left elbow. Maybe the forearm finds your armrest or your thigh. Both sits bones are grounded, so your hips stay down. Your right arm can stay down, or right arm can reach out to the side, up towards the ceiling, or all the way overhead into a side stretch. Breathing into that right side body, focusing your attention on the rib cage and the waist as you breathe. And lift yourself back up. Let's bring those legs back together. And we'll move our attention to our feet. We'll go into some heel raises. So the toes stay down on the ground and we'll alternate lifting one heel and then the other. So it's like you're lifting up onto your tippy toes of one foot, bringing it down, and then tippy toes of the other foot and back down. We're moving through the ankle and the foot. Noticing where your ankle moves. So sometimes a lot of weight shifts out to the side and the ankles sort of pop out to the side as I'm demonstrating here. We want to avoid that. We want to try and make the heels lift in a way that's not going out to the side, but directly forward, almost as if you were holding a ball between the ankles. So something was between your ankles and you don't want to drop it. And you could have that idea with just one heel lifting or that idea with both heels lifting. There's still this sense of magnetism between the ankles. All right, and then let's let that go. And we'll stretch the right leg forward in front of us. I'm just moving sideways so you get a different view. You do not need to move. So right leg stretches forward in front, left knee stays bent as it's been. We'll move through that right ankle again, pointing and flexing the foot. So it's just a little different. It's the same idea, we're just now in a different position. So we're pointing the foot, bringing the toes to touch the earth, and then flexing the foot, reaching those toes towards the ceiling. Next time the foot is flexed with the toes up towards the ceiling, go ahead and pause. We'll inhale, lean forward, feel the stretch intensify in the back of the leg. And then exhale, sit tall, back away from the stretch. So inhale, we lean forward. And exhale, sitting up. Keep going, follow your breath. The next time you're leaning forward, go ahead and pause and decide whether you want to stay and hold the stretch here, or if you want to sit up higher, or if you want to come lower, maybe bringing your left forearm to your thigh or reaching your right hand down your leg. So we're looking for sensations in the back of this right leg. Letting the jaw relax, letting your breath be smooth. Go ahead and lift yourself back up. Rebend that right knee. Allow your knees to sway your windshield wiper right and left just for a few moments, shaking it off. And then we'll switch sides. So back to center, left leg straightens this time, right knee stays bent. First moving through the ankle, point and flex the foot. And then we'll flex the foot, toes up to the ceiling. Inhale, lean forward. Feel a little extra stretch in the back of the leg. And exhale, sit up. Inhale, lean forward. And exhale, coming up. Keep going at your own pace. Next time you're leaning forward, pause and decide, do you want to stay here to hold the stretch? Do you want to sit up higher to hold the stretch? Or do you want to come further forward, maybe bringing a forearm to your leg or a hand down your shin? It doesn't matter where you land, just find what feels good for you to hold the stretch. And go ahead and lift yourself back up. Rebend your knee and windshield wiper side to side. All right, coming back to center. We're moving to our standing portion of class. We're only standing for about 5 minutes. If standing is not for you, go ahead and just stay seated. We'll come back to sit in a few minutes. So know that that is an option. We're gonna stand behind our chair. I think I'm gonna go sideways, but I might go away from my chair a few times just so you can see. So come behind your chair and take your legs wide. So we're gonna go wider than the shoulders if possible. So we have our chair for support, legs are going wider than the shoulders. Keep holding onto your chair. I'm gonna turn to face forward just so you can see better. So we'll just pretend I'm holding the chair. So legs are wide and without bending the knees, so the knees are going to stay straight, I want you to try and sway your hips right and left. So seeing, does your pelvis move side to side? So it's sort of rotating one way and then going the other way. Is it possible for that motion to happen? So it's that pelvis is moving on our thigh bone side to side. And you might find that when you hike one hip and you go off to the side, you might get a little inner thigh stretch on one of the legs. And again, seeing if you can do this with straight legs. So what I often see is knees bending. So just taking a few moments to see if you can figure that out. And then come back to center. Take those feet back towards each other. We're going to revisit a variation of that in a moment. But now you're going to place those hands on your chair and walk yourself back into sort of an upside down L position. So your legs are mostly vertical. If you need to, knees can be bent. Your ankles are underneath your hips. And then your torso is close to parallel to the earth. Of course, if that doesn't feel good, you can be up higher. Your elbows can be bent. So listen to your body. Jaw is relaxed, breath is smooth. And then lift your torso up, walk yourself forward. Pause for a moment, just take a few deep breaths, letting the blood come back up to the head. All right, and then we're gonna walk our feet back again into that position, but now we're gonna go wide stance. So feet are going to go wide. I'm gonna show you without the chair for a moment just so you see, but we're combining the two things that we just did. So there's the upside down L and the wide stance, but we're doing them together. So it's a wide stance, upside down L. So arms are forward, legs are wide. And we're gonna do that same sway of the hips, right and left. And just noticing it might be harder to move when you're in this position. Maybe not. Maybe I'll give you a diagonal view. That might be the best. Yeah. All right, even yourself out, right to left. Come back to center. Heel toe those feet back towards each other and then walk the feet forward, lifting your torso up. All right, let's come back down to sit. Taking your time coming back to your chair. Okay, let's inhale, circle the arms up towards the ceiling. Just give yourself a nice stretch here. And stay here, reach one arm up a little bit higher and then the other. Just a few alternating stretches. Don't worry too much about the breath here. So breathing in whatever way feels comfortable. And back to center, releasing those arms back down. Let's take a figure four stretch. So lots of options. You can cross that right ankle over the left ankle and allow the right knee to open out to the side. You can lift that right leg and cross it over the left leg so that the knees are sort of nestled. Or you can cross that right ankle over the left thigh. You're welcome to sit up onto something to just give yourself a little bit of height. Pause for a few moments, just sitting tall. Is it possible to sit tall in whatever position you've chosen? Or does it feel like your low back really needs to round? And then from there, start to circle your torso. So finding a little bit of motion in your upper body and noticing how the motion in your upper body or the position of your upper body changes the stretch. Go ahead and circle the other way if you haven't switched. Notice if you're clenching anything that doesn't need to be clenched, like the jaw. And then go ahead and hold the stretch. So pausing and holding the stretch in whatever position feels good to you today. So that might be leaning to one side, that might mean leaning back or to the other side or forward or somewhere in between. So it doesn't matter. Find what feels interesting for your body and we'll hold. And lift yourself back up, undo your legs, shake them off. And we'll go to the other side. So left ankle can cross over the right ankle, and you can allow that left knee to open out to the side. You can cross the legs on top of each other. So left leg on top of the right, just like a normal cross-legged seat where the legs are sort of nestled together. Or you can go into a traditional figure four, crossing that left ankle over the right thigh. You could also sit up onto something to make this a little bit easier. Once you're in your position, you'll start to circle your torso. So you're just moving to explore, to notice any changes in the stretch as you move your body. And circle the other direction if you haven't switched. And then wherever you'd like, you'll go ahead and hold the stretch. So find a place that feels interesting for you to hold the stretch, and you'll stay there for several breaths. And go ahead and bring yourself back to center. Undo the legs, shake them off. All right. Then we'll lean forward, wrap your hands around your right shin or knee, and then lift that leg up. So you can lean forward, grab the shin or knee, and then, yes, you need to use a little strength, but you can use the counterbalance of your torso coming up to lift the leg. So that's possible. You'll lift your leg up. If that seems crazy, just lift the leg up and then grab a hold onto it. That would be fine as well. And we'll circle that right ankle one direction. And circle the other way. You go ahead and release the leg, and we'll switch sides. So leaning forward, grabbing a hold of that left shin or knee, and then coming up. That's not possible. You just lift the leg up and then grab it and circle your ankle. And circle the other way. And then releasing the foot, bringing it down. So toes are on the ground. Again, I want you to imagine that you have a ball between your ankles and you don't want the ball to drop. Maybe it's like softball size. Gonna keep your toes down and you'll go back into those heel lifts. So spoiler alert, or our move of the week is heel raises, but seated heel raises. But I want you to be conscious of how you're doing these heel raises so that you have that feeling of magnetism between those ankles so that the ankles don't pop off to the side or the heels don't pop off to the side as you do this. And you can do this exercise really anytime you're sitting. You're watching TV, you're on the phone. Just something to do while you're seated to keep the blood pumping. Get those calf muscles going and some mobility into those ankles and those feet. All right, let's let that go. Let the heels come down. Inhale, circle the arms out to the side and up towards the ceiling. This time, palms touch. Exhale, hands lower towards the heart. Two more times. Inhale, arms circle out and up. Exhale, hands touch, moving to the heart. Last time, inhale, arms circle out and up. And exhale, hands lower to the heart. Let's go ahead and find our meditation position. So you can stay seated or you can scoot yourself further back into your chair. Just get comfortable because we'll be here for 2-3 minutes. Let your arms relax and allow your eyes to close or your gaze to soften to the ground. And we'll check back in just like we did at the start of class. Notice how you're doing mentally. What kind of thoughts are present? Notice how you're doing emotionally. And also notice how you're doing physically. No judgment, just noticing where you are. And then begin to tune into your breathing. And notice where you feel the breath in your body. With each exhale, allow your body to soften a little bit more. And let's take one deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth, let it go. Again, deep inhale through the nose and let it out. Bring your palms to touch in front of your heart. And take a moment to thank yourself for taking time to take care of your mind and your body. Namaste. Thank you, everybody, for joining. So, reminder, our move of the week is heel raises, seated heel raises. I hope you try and incorporate that into the next couple of weeks until our next yoga session. I'm going to write it down so I don't forget. And now, if anybody has any questions regarding our class, so either the or the functional fitness class, now is your time to ask. Also, now is a nice time if you want to see everybody, you can go to the view and change it to gallery view, and you can see lots of.
How can we listen to it in a recorded message?
So we have a YouTube channel, so you can go to our YouTube, and I think it's we'll link it in the chat. It's also in the emails that you get, and so you can click there, and you'll see all of our past videos, and you can watch the recordings there. This video won't be out for a couple of weeks, but you'll see lots of previous ones.
So you will send me a link in the email?
So from your invite, the invite for this class that you went to, you can just go to that. There's a link there for the YouTube on that invite. So if you go back to your email, you should be able to find it. But we'll also put a link in the chat.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You. Wonderful.
Thank you. Yep. So there's the email there, or sorry, the link there in the chat as well. But you'll get it in an email.
Yes, I got them. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? I'm seeing some waves. Totally fine for you to pop off.
And when is the next session?
So every Wednesday we do alternating yoga and functional fitness. So today was yoga, next week will be functional fitness. So the functional fitness class is standing, a little bit more active, slightly less descriptive in terms of each move. But yeah, so and then we'll do yoga again the week after that. So we alternate on Wednesdays, same time.
On the Friday, which was fitness last week, this coming Friday
it alternates as well. So and the Friday's a kind of a separate thing from this group. But the Friday alternates yoga, functional fitness as well.
So what will be the date? I can't even get it out. What I love this class.
So Friday will be functional fitness this time because we did yoga. So it alternates. So whatever happens on Wednesday, it's going to be different on Friday.
But whatever happens on Wednesday is going to be chair yoga the next Wednesday. No.
So
it'll
Wednesdays
be 2 weeks before we get chair yoga again.
Yes, because it alternates. So next Wednesday will be functional fitness, and then the Wednesday after that will be yoga.
Does yoga ever appear on a Friday?
Yes. So it alternates as well if you're in that group. So this week, so not everyone is in that group. So, but that's a special test that we're doing. But on Fridays, it will be, this week will be functional fitness because we did yoga today. Okay. Yeah, I know it's a little bit of I get a little mixed up too. And V has to kindly remind me every time what the class is. So you're not alone.
Doesn't make me feel so bad. Okay.
Don't feel bad at all. So whatever class happens on Wednesday, it's going to be different on Friday, but it alternates every week. So if you wanted to give yourself a, like, write in your calendar, if you took today, wrote down yoga on Wednesday, the next Wednesday you could write down functional fitness, and the following Wednesday you could write yoga, and that would be the way to.
That would be the schedule. That will be the schedule.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's a good session.
Thank you. And thanks, Joel. I see that in the chat. And also, yes, if you have some feedback, you can always give GoGo a review. Okay, and V is reminding me that actually the emails that are sent out to you with the invites will tell you what the class is. So that's good to know.
Good. Okay. Thank you very, very much. It was a wonderful class. I feel terrific. I do.
Wonderful. Thanks for saying that. You are so welcome. Any other questions?
This is Liza in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I wanted to thank you so much.
You are so welcome. And I'm very glad you're here. And I'm glad you made it through the phone, because sometimes that can be tricky. So wonderful. Glad you got to join. All right. If there aren't any other questions, I will let everyone go. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and I'll see you soon.